Hey everyone, it's Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. It is Tuesday night, March the 25th, 2025, and thanks for being here, and thanks for tuning in to my show, where you can expect my Canucks take all in one take, positive, timely, and trustworthy. So if you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now. And I got a few programming notes. I want to get through my intro and explain to you what I'm going to do tonight, because it's completely not what I said I was going to do tonight. I had to make a couple changes, and I'll explain all of them in a minute. So let's get going. It's going to be a very quick show because I can only go for 40 minutes tonight because I have to be sitting in my church chapel by midnight. Moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and respectful place. Members, by the way, Kayla ordered some sushi, and I had a piece of spicy salmon roll right before I started. That was probably not a good decision, because I can feel the inside of my mouth and my throat burning, and I think I've already drank half of my juice already. Anyways, moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's Legends, Hall of Fame, and franchise members, thank you for your support, and everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston and Richmond, in the city, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, around the world. Thank you for being here. You know that I know that you could be doing anything else, watching anyone else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three. But the fact that you are here with me, know how much I always appreciate you, and I never, ever, ever, ever take you for granted. So this is how you can get involved tonight. You can subscribe to the channel, get active in the chat section, get notified on my videos. You can like the video, like the fact that we're together, like the fact that the Canucks played really well yesterday, but there's not much more to like in terms of standings, but I'll get to that in a second. And like the fact that we are together and continue to build such a positive community here in the YouTube space. You can leave a donation. Will you be the one who gets the donation train out of the station? You can gift a membership. You can buy your own membership. You can upgrade your own membership. You can use your monthly membership message. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. Let's see who's the first to get the donation train out of the station. So what I was going to do tonight is going to culminate. So what I was going to do is I was going to do a quick talk about bowling. I was going to go over how the NHL playoff works. And before that, I was going to get reaction to my Much Music video that many of you were asking me about last night. And then I was going to bring on Jordan Lee from Canucks Uncensored, because it's his birthday today. And that was the plan. But Jordan is in the middle of ice hockey, or it's probably ending right now, but he has a playoff game for his ice hockey team. So there's no way he could be ready for 10:25, 10:30. So I'm moving Jordan to tomorrow night's show, which actually is better, because then I won't feel as rushed, because no matter what, I do have to cut off at 11:40 today. At least tomorrow night, there's a bit more leeway, a bit more flexibility. So I've moved Jordan to tomorrow night's show. We'll hear about his fandom, his take on the Canucks, and then we can hear a bit about his new channel, Canucks Uncensored. So that is tomorrow night. What I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to do a quick bowling update. It's going to be very quick. You probably know what that means. Then I'm going to go over the scores and the standings, talk about how the NHL playoff works, and then I am going to take some of your questions and things. And then for the last 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to do a detailed breakdown, not of any goals, not of any highlights, but of my Much Music video. Because there's a lot of energy around it yesterday. I rewatched it, and there's some pretty funny things in there that I do want to point out. So that's what we're going to do for the last 10 minutes of the show, just for something different. So I'll make sure it's Canucks, bowling, Canucks, hockey related for the first half an hour, and then I'll spend the last 10 minutes breaking down the Much Music video in the style that I break down all my videos. No green screen, no time to set that up. Ain't nobody got time for that, but that'll be a lot of fun for the last, hopefully that'll be fun for the last 10 minutes of the show tonight. And yes, Reverend Irvin, it does feel like, welcome to Canuck Clay's Hot Ones. I'm feeling it for sure. What did Alfred say? Would you entertain attempting to try the flat top again? Oh, I did. I brought it back once for my 40th birthday 10 years ago. I'd have to do some work. I'm balding a little bit, but I could make it happen. You know, I got a good head of hair still. Okay, bowling real quick. Every night, every Tuesday night is my bowling. I think the secret to bowling well is I need a Canucks game on, and I need the Canucks to win. Because remember last Tuesday, that's when the Canucks thumped the Winnipeg Jets 6-2. That's when my team won 44 points out of 50, and I bowled the best I have the entire season. I had my 5th highest game ever at 235 or whatever. I won $215 in side bets. Last week could not have been any better. So those of you who know storytelling or simply know me, you know what I'm leading up to. Tonight, sadly, was my worst night of bowling since January. So my worst night of bowling this season. I averaged 156. So I went 139, 172, 163, 149. So 139 was my highest, but only 172. 139 was my lowest. 172 was my highest. Whereas last week, 171 was my lowest. So, and I'm going to actually analogize this to the Canucks in a second. So I bowled like crap, and I only got 2 points. I won one game out of the 4. That's worth 2 points, and I didn't win total, another 2 points. So my leadoff, she bowled okay. Remember, she's the grade 12 girl who's Kayla's age. They bowled together and they compete against each other, and they bowled together. But so she only won one game. So she won 2 points. I only won 2 points. And then my anchor, who's awesome, he's one of the best 5 bowlers in the league. He unfortunately got in 2 different car accidents this week. It's not even funny. I'm glad he's better. But he got in a car accident on Saturday, and then he got into a car accident on Monday. Saturday was his fault, or at least it was just by himself. Monday, he got rear-ended. He has a sore back. So he did not bowl that well. So he still won 2 of his games, but not total. So follow this math. Annabelle won 2 points. I won 2 points. Chris won 4 points. That's only 8. And then of the 4 games, or total, all worth 4, we only won game 1. So 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 4, unfortunately, is very easy to add up. We got smoked 38-12. So we're in 3rd place in the league coming into today. I can imagine that we've fallen quite a few places, but we got smoked tonight. So, and I was in a good mood. I was excited. I was ready to follow up on my performance from last week, and it just didn't happen. So here's my analogy to the Canucks. So now we can talk about the Vancouver Canucks for the rest of the show, well, until I do my Much Music breakdown. Sometimes you can be ready to play. You can have the right mental, you can feel good mentally, you can feel good physically. And then sometimes you just can't do anything if the opponent is even more on their game than you are. Or in today's case, if Calgary and St. Louis win big games in the standings, and I'll get to that in a second. But even if you don't look at it as, analogize it to this year's playoff run, just tonight, we were ready to go. We were focused. We had good spirits, but the other team simply outperformed us. And it doesn't mean we weren't trying. It doesn't mean we don't want to win. Sometimes it just happens. And our captain, our awesome bowler, Chris, he's our Quinn Hughes for sure. I'm more like our Teddy Bluger, I think, or something. But yeah, our Quinn Hughes, he tried. He battled through injury. He was definitely battling through injury tonight. And sometimes, as much as he tried to give it all as he could, he simply could not lead us to victory tonight. So I think our bowling night was a little bit analogous to the Vancouver Canucks in that, and in their playoff race, and maybe kind of more when Hughes was coming back from his injury earlier this month. That's kind of what it felt like. We were in good spirits. We wanted to win very badly, but no matter what we did, we couldn't gain any momentum. So our offense was kind of lethargic, like the Canucks offense has been in the past. So hopefully I have a better week. There's only 2 more weeks of bowling, and then we're done until September. So 2 big weeks to come. I'm fine. I'm in a good mood. But I obviously would have liked to bowl better to help our team out, and just to have. It's not even about winning or losing money. It's just more of a just wanted to do better for the team. Okay. Thanks everyone for letting me listen to that. But let's talk about the scores. Then we're going to talk about the standings. Then I'm going to tell you how the playoffs work, and then take some of your questions, and everything will be great. Just checking one thing here. Share tab or screen. Okay, let's do this. Let's try this. Okay, tonight, A lot of games. Buffalo beats Ottawa. Toronto whips Philly. Lightning beat the Penguins. Predators beat the Hurricanes. This is the one that we did not want to see. St. Louis whips Montreal, not even close, 6-1. Vegas beats the Wild. Battle of the top teams. Winnipeg beats Washington. Ovechkin scored 6 away now. Colorado beats Detroit. Calgary. They were losing 3-2. They end up winning 4-3. They beat Seattle. And then the Kings beat the Rangers. So you add it all up, and here's what the standings look like right now, my friends. Here's what the standings look like right now. And this is where I get to put my banner where I talk about what the Canucks have to do. So in the East, right now, it's still Ottawa and Montreal, but the Islanders have crept up right behind Montreal with the same number of games played. So that's going to be an interesting race. And actually, Columbus, these are our next two opponents. We got New York Islanders tomorrow, so they're going to be hungry. And then Columbus is right behind them. So those are our two next opponents, so we can't take those games lightly. Winnipeg is the first team in the NHL to clinch. That's because the number 9 team in the Western Conference they can't catch them now with 10 games to go. That means they're more than 20 points out. And sure enough, no one can catch. 8 teams can't pass Winnipeg is my point. So Winnipeg clinches, and this is what it looks like now. Minnesota is 85. St. Louis is catching up. They have 83. They won again tonight, 7 straight, 8-1-1 in their last 7. Calgary has 79. Vancouver, 78. Utah, 75. All right. Remember, I explained to you yesterday how I figure out this playoff bar. I've now moved it to 94 points. Remember, it started last week at 92, but because St. Louis keeps winning, so you take their points percentage of 568 and you times it by 82 games times 2 points possible. And now it's 93.1. You got to round up. You can't round down. So now the playoff bar is 94 points. So you can see as St. Louis has won, I've been moving the artificial playoff bar up and up and up. So because the Canucks have 78 points, they need 16 points in their final 11 games. 16 minus 11 is 5. So the Canucks need to go 5 games over 500 now just to hit 94 points. And 11 games, that means they go 8-3, they go 7-2-2, or they go 6-1-4. That's a bit strange. But yeah, that's still 5 losses, right? 1 regulation loss and 4 extra time losses. So they have to go 8-3, 7-2-2, or 6-1-4. Here's the challenging thing. Yes, I called this stream, the Canucks ain't done yet. And that was where you call it a clever or callback or a reference to when I say we ain't done when it comes to receiving donations. Hint, hint. I'm just kidding. So the Canucks are not mathematically eliminated. And you can see if they win their 2 games in hand, I know it doesn't work like this, but let's say they beat the Islanders and beat Columbus and St. Louis doesn't play before Friday, we'll be up to 82 points. We will literally be 1 point behind the Blues with the equal number of games played. So it's still doable. But then you have Calgary, who's already a point ahead of us, and they have 1 fewer game. So let's say they lose their next 3 somehow. Somehow they lose their next 3, and we win our next 2. Or even if they win 1 of their next 3, Calgary will have 81-73, and we will have 82-73. So it's not like we're out. It's not like we're eliminated. But you can see, like as positive as we were yesterday, because the Canucks squeaked out that victory. Instead of getting 0 points, they got 2, which was huge. They snuck out that victory yesterday. But St. Louis easily wins today. Calgary a bit closer, but they win today. So we technically didn't make up any ground. You see what I mean? See what I mean? See what I mean. Swerve and Irvin answers the call, gets the donation train out of the station. Let's give Swerve and Irvin some love in the chat. And I love this optimism. It says, till we're done, we ain't done. And that is totally fair. I like that talk. I would like that talk even more, though, if St. Louis wasn't playing so well, to be perfectly honest with you. But it doesn't change Swerve and Irvin's generosity. So let's give Swerve and Irvin some love in the chat. Hey, BC, I know you you like your LA Kings. Then they're playing very, very well. Now back to this. So, do you think the Canucks can go 5 games over 500? Yes, it's doable, but is it realistic? Is it realistic? So I'm going to I'll let you vote officially in the poll. Can the Canucks make the playoffs? No, it should be will the Canucks, because everyone's going to say they can. Will the Canucks make the playoffs? And then I'll put in brackets need to get 16 points in final 11 games. Wait, let's see what you guys think. I put it as the poll question: will the Canucks make the playoffs? Or as Dan says, will the Canucks be not just golfing, but will they be bowling in early April? Well, technically the season ends April 18th, so they still have 4 more weeks to go, 3 more weeks to go. Okay, I want to explain to you one thing. I'll take this banner off so I can show you. A couple of people have asked, how does the playoffs work? And for those of you that know how the playoffs works, bear with me for 5 minutes here as I share about this. So picture this. In each conference, the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference, broken into 4 divisions, 2 divisions in each conference, you need 8 teams to make the playoffs in each conference. So let's just worry about the Western Conference. For the most part, the playoffs follow the division model. So in the Central Division, Winnipeg, Dallas, and Colorado are the top 3. In the Pacific Division, Vegas, LA, and Edmonton are right now the top 3. So let's just work with these current standings right now, as if the playoffs started today. And actually, this is a really good example. The top 3 in each of the 2 divisions make the first 3 seeds in each division. And then the 2 wild cards, then they get placed in not necessarily their proper division. So in this case, if the playoffs start today, Minnesota is the first wild card team. So they play against the division leader that's not as good. So Winnipeg has 102 points. Vegas has 94 points. So technically, Winnipeg is better than Vegas. So Minnesota, as the wild card 1, will play against the weaker of the division winners, and they'll stay in that division. So the playoffs start today. Minnesota would actually play against Vegas in the first round of the Pacific Division. And then LA and Edmonton would play in the other matchup. St. Louis, as the second wild card, would play against the better division winner. So that is Winnipeg, their own division. So Winnipeg would play against St. Louis, and then Dallas would play against Colorado. Whoever's the higher seed, they have home games in games 1, 2, 5, and 7. The away team, the lesser team, has home games in games 3, 4, and 6. That's why home ice advantage, you always get game 7. 1, 2. So 2 home games, 2 away games, then 1, 1, and 1. So let's go with the Minnesota example. Remember, I said they're playing against Vegas, so they're in the Pacific Division. If Minnesota beats Vegas in the first round, they'll play the winner of LA Edmonton. Let's presume it's LA. So then it'll be Minnesota versus LA in the division final. If Minnesota beats LA, they will play against whoever comes out of the Central Division. So the Western Conference final could be a battle of 2 teams from different divisions. Sorry, 2 teams from the same division. It could be, for instance, a Winnipeg versus Minnesota conference final. And then the winner would go to the Stanley Cup, because then the East does the same thing. So here's a really interesting example. Let's say Vancouver is the second wild card. So instead of seeing St. Louis, you see Vancouver. Vancouver, as the second wild card, would play against the better division winner, Winnipeg. So Vancouver, or Calgary, but let's say Vancouver makes the playoffs as the second wild card. Vancouver would play in the Central Division for the entire playoffs. So we would play against Winnipeg in the first round, and the winner of that, let's say Vancouver beat Winnipeg, we would play against the winner against Dallas, Colorado. Let's say it's Dallas. So it'd be Vancouver versus Dallas. Let's say we beat Dallas in the second round. Then we would play whoever comes out of the Pacific Division. Let's presume it's Vegas. So you would have a Vancouver versus Vegas conference final. Now, if it's reversed and the Canucks somehow were wild card 1 and Minnesota was wild card 2, then by virtue of being the better wild card, we play against the weaker division winner. We play in the Pacific Division. And then it's actually Vancouver versus Vegas Edmonton versus LA. Then it's a proper Pacific Division playoff. And then in the Central, it would be a proper Winnipeg versus St. Louis. Oh, sorry, Winnipeg versus Minnesota, Dallas versus Colorado. So the biggest thing you need to know about the playoffs, you take 3 teams from each division, and then when you have the 2 wildcard teams, the better wildcard team plays against the weaker division winner, and then they stay in that division for the playoffs, the first 2 rounds. The weaker of the wildcard teams, the second wildcard, will have to play against the stronger division winner and stay in that division. So that's why we're saying if Vancouver sneaks in as a second wildcard, they will have to play against Winnipeg. So I hope that makes sense. For some of you, that was like, I know that already. But for others, that might have been a brand new thing. So I was happy to share about that with all of you. So this is what I'm going to do. I can do my mid-show sponsor read now. And then, it used to be all the teams, and we talked about this yesterday. The top 8, 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. They've even had models where they reseed, but this is meant to build up divisional rivalries. Okay? So Swervin Irvin's not a fan of that format. Yes, I know. Thank you. Yeah, probably, that might be a little bit boring, but I thought I tried to make it as straightforward as straightforward as I could. Let's do my mid-show sponsor read. Then I'll answer, 5 to 7 minutes of your questions. And then for the last 5 to 10 minutes of the stream, we're going to break down the Much music video and leave time for reaction. All right. I always start off my mid-show sponsor read by thanking my primary sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts. Thank you to my channel sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts Real Estate. At Van City Experts, their experience, knowledge, and expertise can serve you well in navigating through the real estate market and will help you to choose the best home or condo in the greater Vancouver area that best suits your and your family's needs. Shout out to my secondary sponsor, Coach Patrick Liu, weight loss coach. Check him out at coachpatrickliu.com/clay or so you receive a free 5-day workout when you do so. Thank you to Gassy Jet Art, maker of that fine artwork. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the link tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks of your next purchase of Vessi shoes. Thanks to everyone who's purchased Canuck Clay merch. You can do so at canuckclay.threadless.com. That helps me out. Also, a reminder of how you get involved tonight. You can subscribe. You can like the video. You can leave a donation like it was Swervin Irvin did, right? You can gift a membership. You can buy your own membership. You can upgrade your own membership. You can use your monthly membership message. And if listening on a podcast platform, you can rate and review. Finally, my shows this week. Tomorrow night will be a show at 11 p.m. post-game show, Canucks versus the Islanders. And for the second half of that show, I'll be bringing on birthday boy of today, Jordan Lee of Canucks Uncensored. I see Canucks Uncensored is in the chat right now. Is that Witten or is that Jordan after his big playoff game? So I'll be bringing Jordan in tomorrow night. And then Thursday night at 11 p.m., because I'm not seeing Tina Turner because of my mix-up, I will do a member show on Thursday night. It's Witten. Hey, Witten, nice to see you. Nice to see you. I was able to message with Jordan earlier this morning, so we figured out that I'm going to bring him on tomorrow. All right, let's get to your questions for the next 5 minutes or so, and then I'll do something fun for the last 10 minutes, something different. I wonder what our stats are throwing a 2-goal lead. Curious to see if we actually won those, to see how many points we could have had if we won those games. Yeah, maybe there's got to be at least 3 or 4 games in there, right? For sure. They used to have East and West play each other 1 versus 16. Wow, that's a callback for sure. Swervin Irvin seems to remember the Canucks versus Philly. Do you think the Canucks need to acquire another D-man in the offseason? Nope. Spend all your money, spend all your energy on forwards. I think our goaltending is set. I actually think our D is set, and that's without Verlander still making a dent. Nope. I think they should spend all their time and money on forwards and starting with a second line center. Shout out to Skytrain Alfred with the $2 donation. Thank you. Let's give Alfred some love in the chat. Thoughts on the Jets boarding pass to the dance? I think that's a very creative way of saying the first team to clinch. Makes sense. They're the best team in the league, them in Washington. and they're deep. They got great goaltending, a defense that's overperforming. Some good forward. Pionk slowed down a little bit, but they got still Morrissey and others. Some really good forwards, some grit, some speed. But they're like the Toronto of the West, right? We got to see how well they can do in a playoff series. They often lose in the first round. But thank you, Skytrain Elfin, for the donation, for sure. So the format is stronger teams versus weaker teams. It's always like that, Tyler. Any type of seeding, whether it's 1 versus 16, 1 versus 8, or a simple 1 versus 4, it's always set up that way because the systems are set up. So in theory, you have the 2 best teams in the final. What do you think about the Eastern Conference teams? I think I don't think Ottawa and Montreal are both going to make it. I think one of them is going to get caught. Probably Montreal. I think Ottawa is playing a bit better, a bit more consistent. So I think Ottawa will make it. I think one of the Islanders or Columbus. Columbus has got some healthy bodies back. I could see Columbus making a Cinderella push, and it's a feel-good story, right, with the whole Johnny Gaudreau thing. So it could be Columbus getting the second wildcard spot. Hey, Whitten, nice to see you. Everyone give some love to Canucks Uncensored. Starting strong and building quickly. Just wanted to let the Blue Jays fans know. Restart Thursday at 12 noon. Wow. Starting already. Is Suter worth keeping for after the season? Projected next contract is 4 times 4. You know, it's so funny, right? That the Canucks are going to be looking for depth at center. And they have one right under their nose, but maybe for the role they want, like I think they want to get a second line center and push Hito down to the third line, to be honest with you. And then you have Bluger as a fourth line center. So maybe you don't need Suter, especially when he's going to double, if not triple. We got him for 1.6, which is pretty sick. So I just like, I could build an argument for keeping him. But I think the Canucks are willing to, I think they're going to try to sign him. But if he wants anything north of 4.5, I think it's going to be tough for the Canucks to sign him. Do you try and use that value for more money to a second line center, a true second line center? No, LA Women's Hoops, I switched it around and I explained that yesterday. I switched it around yesterday because I am now free on Thursday night to do my members chat. With Ovi being 6 away from being the greatest goal scorer in the league, who do you think will be the Ovi when the time comes? Who do you think will be great? Huh? Oh, greater than Ovi. Yeah, I haven't looked at total goals in history. Like McDavid's obviously one that comes to my mind. Goal totals. But does he get a lot of goals though? Like obviously McDavid gets a lot of points. Okay, so the only active players after Ovechkin, Crosby won't catch him. Stamkos won't catch him. Oh gosh, I don't know. Malkin won't catch him. I don't know if anyone's going to catch him, to be honest with you, because there's some really good goal scorers on here, but they only have in the 400s and 500s. I actually don't know if anyone's going to catch him. Where's McDavid? Yeah, like McDavid only has 361 goals. Yeah, and he's already played for 10 years. I don't know. I don't think anyone's going to catch him. Great question, though. How much will you tune in the season's playoffs if the Canucks don't qualify? For pools and for the purposes of being aware, mostly for hockey pools, I will probably stay abreast, know what's happening, but I won't be following it. I won't be vlogging about it all the time. I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to do with my channel. I have some ideas, but I might go to some of you for some ideas as well. Hey, BC Beastly. We can do an offer sheet. That's nice. All right. I am going to... Oh, Austin Matthews, top 5 all-time in goals per game. Okay, there's one. Yeah. And then Rain says it could be Matthews as well. Sorry, I can't get to everyone's questions because I do got to end in 10 minutes and I want to have some fun with this next little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch this 2-minute. So for some context, I don't know how it came up, but someone brought up my Much Music video yesterday, when I 30 years ago when I was in outside of Toronto's Much Music Studios, there with my best friend Gerard. And then it came up, and then I didn't want to show it because of copyright. But then I said, who cares? Like, it's not like this Much Music one is monetized. So I'm just going to put it on. I'm going to play it for 2 minutes in entirety. Many of you watched it yesterday during my stream or after my stream, and you sent me comments or messages, and we had a lot of fun with it. So I'm going to watch it. And then I won't break it down too much because I do want to end in the next 8 minutes. But let's watch it, and I'll get some of your comments. So this is me and my buddy Gerard outside of Much Music Studios. Monica Dial comes out during a commercial break and says, "Who wants to be on TV?" And we said us. And then a lot of you guys were commenting on my amazing hair and my voice and just the way I sound younger and the way that I speak is a lot different. Remember, I'm only 20 years old here. This is 30 years ago. So let's watch this. This is me, my buddy Gerard, Much Music, 30 years ago. And then just kind of, I won't break it like frame by frame, but just kind of see what sticks out to you from here. And then we will see what happens. So I'm going to actually do it like this. I'm going to share this one. And hopefully I don't break anything. So here we go. This is us on Much Music. Enjoy this for 2 minutes.
Out here, I tell you, it's been pouring. I don't know what it's like in the rest of Canada today, but in Toronto, it's been pouring. So I understand we have some guys here from Vancouver. Yeah? Come over here. Come over here, guys. Come over here. You're from Vancouver. You're hanging out in Toronto. What's the deal?
Gorgeous in the cigar. Record it.
How nice, yeah?
They had that. You know, you've got a couple family friends and visiting in, and just wanted to check out Much Music because we see it every day. Yeah? All right. Vancouver, our top 5 list of things we've seen in Toronto that we don't see in Vancouver.
Okay, sure. What the heck, yeah?
Okay, we got here and we missed our bus connected to our hotel. Come on. When we got to our hotel room, the washroom kept on leaking and we thought we were going to leave the hotel. So that's number 4. Toronto's got no walk sign, so we don't know when to cross the street. Come on, that's bad. What's up with the weather? I mean, this is Vancouver weather. You want to see some awesome weather in Toronto? What's up with that? Number 1, we're at Much Music and we met you, Monica. Thank you.
How did you guys reverse that?
We're going to do the speaker's corner, but I guess now we don't have to.
Now you don't have to. It isn't live for the whole country, so that's perfectly okay. Actually, you know what? That was very sweet and very clever. And I noticed that everything was negative until you got to me. So I was a little bit worried when you said, and then Monica, I was like, oh. But thank you very much. So are you actually from Vancouver? Or just make this whole shtick up because you're trying to be a comedian?
From Vancouver.
Let's see some ID.
Oh, man. Don't laugh, Vancouver. Walk with me. There you
Okay,
go.
well, show it to them. Show it to them.
There you go. All right, what's up?
2 in a room, literally, on electric circuit.
Okay, so a couple about this. So we did our top 5 things that we were experiencing in Toronto that we don't see that we experience in Toronto that we don't see in Vancouver. So number 5 was and they weren't actually that good, but it was more things that happened to us. We missed our bus connector, our toilet was leaking, there's no walk sign, so we don't know when to cross the street. What's up with the weather? And we got to meet you, Monica, because you're not in Vancouver. So that was the whole thing. Then she says, are you actually from Vancouver? Did you make this whole shtick up to get on TV? And then we showed our ID, probably not the smartest thing in retrospect. And then that was it. And then she introduced the next music video called 2 in a Room. So she goes, 2 in a room, literally. And then she went like this. I don't know if she was pointing to us or making fun of how short we were, because we're both 5'6", and she's probably like 5'10", 5'11", 6 feet. So you could tell she's way taller than us, for sure. Like you can just see this. Way taller than us. Look at my sweet hair. I did want to show you, like, look at that line. Look at that line in my hair. So not only was it a flat top, but I had like one of those shaved in lines here. And yeah, that was us on Much Music. And I don't like 30 years later, I don't like the way we were chewing gum. We were a bunch of cows out grazing in pasture. So maybe that's something that we could have done a little better. But let's let's get to your comments. Let's just have some fun. Go to town on me. I will not get offended for the next 3 or 4 minutes. Just go to town on me. Make fun of me. What do you think of this? Oh, and by the way, at the very end, she basically said no Leafs Canucks stuff. No Leafs Canucks stuff, because I think someone yelled out Canucks suck, and that's one of the reasons why we turned around. So let's go. Just some of your comments. And yeah, sorry, I know some of you guys are asking really good Canucks questions. Save that for tomorrow. So Ricky says it was my fault. So was it Ricky who brought it up last night? Well, Ricky, nothing is ever your fault. I trust you, man. I love you, brother. Am I still friends with Gerard? We are indeed. In fact, I'll see him tomorrow. We're not as close as we used to be, because we even worked together at the Archdiocese for a while, did a lot of ministry together. We are godparents to each other's kids. So we're not as close, but we're still good, really good friends. And I think I might see him tomorrow, actually, because I'm taking Kayla to an interview at Corpus Christi College. Yeah, and Adrian knows Gerard as well. 30-year friendship is amazing. Yeah, we've been friends, Gerard and I, since 1993. Clay stepping into the frame with authority. So Gerard might think I'm a little bit bossy. Just look at me. Look at my face right there. It looks like I'm just making sure he doesn't screw up. Like this is so bad. Can I even make that face anymore? Anyways, I'm looking at him to make sure he doesn't mess up. Look at the intensity. Look at my eyebrows. Look at my eyes. Look at my shiny face. Look at that line. Oh my gosh. Clay looks so confident. Love it. Still got that high voice. What are you talking about? This is not a high voice. I do recognize, though, that I'm speaking of, even though I'm excited, my voice is, a little bit higher, and almost not as, not that my voice is piercing or domineering right now, or dominating. Is that the word? I don't know. Maybe I'm just 30 years more mature. Dope jacket. Thank you. I do like it. It's a guest jacket. I like it. So much swagger and confidence and roasting from Clay. Thank you, Sarah. It's the hair for Angelo. Were you and Gail already together here? Yeah, we started dating in 89. So we'd already been together for 5 years. And then we called home, and I don't think they ran this live, or I can't remember. I think we called home, and all our friends just happened to be together. It was like a Friday night. So we told them to turn on much music. Clay, would hockey be TikTok viral if your kids posted your old pics? You know, Ian, I'm going to talk. I almost called you Nation. Ian, I'm going to talk to them on the weekend. We should see what happens if they post some of my old pics. Natepno self-docs. I don't even know what that means. BCBC's laughing. The vintage Florida Panthers jersey. Yeah, the guy behind. Yeah, or the one behind. Yeah, the random jersey. At the end, is the guy at the end. Next, she asked for the social insurance numbers, and they flashed their cards on the stream. No wonder I don't have any money. Someone just identity theft me and took all my money. You guys took Toronto by storm. Well, that's one way of putting it. It was raining that day. Clay, you look awesome. Thank you, Carol. Hope you kept that ID. I have it somewhere. Vancouver, it says Toronto. Huh? What does that mean? Vancouver, it says Toronto. Zaddy, I know what that means. I don't know if I am. I'll have to ask my kids. Cool, Clay. Who were you emulating with that hair? Do you remember just anyone that had a box cut? It wasn't even Kid. Remember that rap group Kid and Play, where Kid had the high top fade? But it's funny. I would call myself Kid and Clay, but he had a really, really high one. I don't know. I think I just thought I looked cool. The jawline. Yeah, look at that jawline. That was when I was skinny and I had a six-pack. Now I'm just a bit of a blob. Cringe, but good. I'll take that. You guys racing cars fast back then too? Yeah. We weren't much into the cars, but we kind of looked like we'd be in Fast and Furious or something. Young Clay was a handsome man. I don't know why you put the past tense, Edmund. That's very offensive. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That was fake to show your ID, and it's awesome your friend. It's awesome that your hair, just being in Toronto. Yeah, it was a great, need that jawline. Yeah, that's right. That's the one thing. Not the same. Not the same. I'm a perfectly chiseled rectangle here, and now I'm an oval for sure. Does 90s Clay look more like Sean or Jacob? You guys tell me. Is this Sean or Jacob? That's a good question. Is this Sean or Jacob? Oh, wait, you know what? Real quick. That's going to be my poll to end off this stream. Oh my gosh, it's 11:41. I'm having too much fun with you guys, but I got to get going. I got to wrap up the next 2 minutes. So that's the poll. 63% of you saying no, Canucks will make the playoffs. So lastly, for the last 2 minutes, did 90s Clay look more like Sean or Jacob? I said, does 90s Clay, not did. Sean, remember, Sean is my elder son, and Jacob is the younger one. So vote for that for the last 2 minutes. I caught the last bit of the story, so whoa at seeing this photo. Yes, not my finest work. I love the guy with the bandana over his eyes. Oh, light voice. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. My wife's in the Philippines still. What was the number one song during that time? 1994. I'll have to look it up. Edmund, I'll tell you tomorrow. Docs, you expose your info. Gotcha. Middle of the 94 Cup run. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Miss Saigon was a musical, not a beauty pageant, but it was a lot of... Tomorrow, I will tell the story. Remind me, you guys in the chat. Remind me tomorrow in the chat. I'll tell the story about how we got invited to a cast lingerie party for Miss Saigon. It was pretty crazy. Sean Sean's looks, enthusiasm of Jacob. That's fair. Still dope. Return to the Mac. Awesome. So why don't you guys vote as we wrap up? So that was a little bit fun. Just a small detour from the Vancouver Canucks woes with Calgary and St. Louis winning tonight. But let's get together tomorrow night at 11 p.m. and we will talk about hopefully a Canucks win over Bo Horvat and the New York Islanders. Moderators, thank you for keeping this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members. Thanks for your support as well. And to everyone else, thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. On the way out, you can like the video, subscribe, you can leave a late donation. Thank you to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Coach Patrick Liu, weight loss coach. And thanks to everyone who went above and beyond tonight. And that would be Swervin Irvin, who did the first donation, followed by his Filipino brother from another mother, Skytrain Alfred, with his donation. So thank you for the donations, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for indulging me, both with my bowling stories, with my bowling to Canucks analogy, and taking a walk down memory lane with my appearance on Much Music. So probably won't post this on a podcast. Pretty tough to follow. So we're going to keep this on YouTube. At least it was visual and just something different. Just something different tonight. I'll Make Love to You was number one in 1994. That makes sense. By the way, actually, I'll leave you with one last thing. So two things. So here is this vlog if you want to watch this, the Much Music. And if you want to watch my parody song of I'll Make Love to You, it was I'll Show Glove to You. And it was about Ryan Miller. And it was Ariel Tuliao, Marie Huey, and our other good friend Michelle. I can't remember her last name. But I'm going to put two videos for your viewing pleasure because the stream is so short. The first one is Much Music. The second one is our parody of Boyz II Men, I'll Make Love to You. And it's called I'll Show Love to You. Don't forget to rate the bad joke on the way out. And join me tomorrow night at 11 p.m. for my post-game show. Bringing on Jordan from Canucks Uncensored to join me in wrapping up, and talking about his fandom and his show. What did the poll say? I'm just going to wrap up the poll right now. 2/3 of you are saying that I look like Jacob, and Jacob is not going to be very happy to hear this. So thanks, everyone. Bit of a diversion tonight, something different, but hey, I want to show that we can talk about more than just Canucks, even though this is called Clay's Canucks Commentary. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. And just before I started this stream, just actually out of frame, a book fell on my head. Yes, a book fell right on top of my head, but I only have my shelf to blame. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.